And we are back. It is semi-final number 2, day number 3 of week number 5 as we head towards Arlington, Texas, the land of steak, the land of brisket, the land of freedom, the place where there's almost no laws. Some people say that everybody in America could fit into Texas. There's so much land there. It's such a bloody big place. We've had lots of fun in Texas, some of which you still haven't seen yet, but you will see one day. We have a P90, we have another P90 video to show you. We did something with a tank. This puck you can see in the front corner ahead of the Bears. We blew that up. Dan set off a shape charge, which blew a hole straight through that. So we have lots of interesting content to come for you. But the main content of the day here is going to be Counter-Strike. We're going to have some European Counter-Strike. We're going to have some North American Counter-Strike. The Bears, welcome back to the studio.
Thank you.
We played some games yesterday.
We did.
We played basically X Singularity yesterday on Overpass. We didn't win, as we shouldn't, really.
4 of the members.
I did a lot of stupid stuff in that game. I'll be honest. Like, I was in Connector, I was trying to jump onto the pipe, but I haven't found the way to do it every time yet. So if you don't do it, it just makes a big massive metal sound. And then I'd try it again and Infinite would spray me down through the smoke. He did it at least twice, so you know, I'm trying too hard, man. I have this weird mental block where if I have an idea, I tend to try and do it even if I know I should no longer try to do it.
You got to mix it up, man.
I got Groundhog Day there.
You have to come back to it.
I know.
Like later, in the half, not 8 rounds in a row.
I'll get there
James.
one day. I'm
You
aware
can't
of
do
it.
it 8 rounds in a row, James.
I'm working on it. Excuse me. DDK, you've played some CS today already?
Yeah. Face again.
Got up at Rising early, 3 o'clock in the morning. He got up at 3 o'clock in the morning to try and farm that cheap elo. You know, people are half awake. Got plus 50 elo. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice work. Very nice. Very nice work. It is 427 days since we could draw on the map during NA. That will change to 428. Now we've got all our housekeeping out of the way. Let's look at the bracket and see where we are. What is the status quo in Europe for ECS? Week number 5, day number 3, Virtus Pro. They 2-0'd Mouse Sports, who had to stand in and get right. Then they 2-1 FaZe yesterday, a shocker to many. And they'll find themselves in the final, but first is who? Tricked have made it to this point, having beaten North 2-1 at the start of this week's bracket. And Fnatic have looked strong of late, and they've taken out big 2-0. Now they look to do the same to Tricked. And that's our match today in the European bracket to find out who plays Virtus Pro tomorrow for that final slot from Europe for the finals in Arlington. And tickets are available if you are in the region, or you can make it down or up or sideways, wherever you are. In relation to Arlington, Texas, ECS.FACEIT.com is where you can get yourself some tickets to the finals. There will be player signings, there will be Counter-Strike. My asthma is trying to ruin my life, but we're going to press on, we're going to crack on, we're going to do other things with the same phrase. I can't think of. There was another one, tip of my tongue, but I can't find it. Anyway, let's have a look at the veto and see where these two teams are going to be playing. We've had a lot of Vertigo recently in North America. It is old Vertigo though, I guess, through the season, but there's an auto veto from Fnatic. So we will start on Nuke, head to Inferno, and if required, we will finish on Train. Any initial thoughts, gentlemen?
I like Nuke.
You like Nuke?
I like watching Trick that Nuke as well.
Oh, really?
Hunden Big Brain. Hunden Big Brain. I like the utility usages, and I just like watching teams on Nuke, see what kind of style they do. Is it just set pieces? Is it more lurky? I just want to absorb it all.
Didn't Hunden recently have like a medical emergency or something like that?
Not sure.
Or something.
I don't know, Dad. I'm not his doctor.
I'll have to check that out. I agree with Eric. It's Nuke is a great one for Trick because their game plan will be quite fun to watch because we'll get to see them execute it, at least on the T side most likely. But I mean, Fnatic are very robust at the moment across the entire map pool, so that should be a good test for them. So
nice to see Fnatic back. I was talking about this yesterday, but we'll continue today as we're going to watch them play a match. They're one of the favorite brands of mine, at least, in the game at the moment, with the players and their history and so on. Always been a fan of Fnatic, so it's nice to see them having some success once again, and I think they've got the right pieces for this current iteration of Fnatic. But it's time for predictions, man. I got to pick Fnatic. They're some of my favorite stickers in the game as well, so you get some bias there. I love my stickers, man. I love my stickers.
And watches and shoes.
I have, and drones and I mean, we could go on pens,
oceans and seas,
fresh water as well, quarries. I like quarries.
The basins, you know.
I'm a big fan of flooded
Don't
quarries.
forget the basins.
I learned to dive in a flooded quarry. I haven't got much experience with basins though.
Yeah, they're rare.
Okay, I'll look into them.
A bit more rare than the old quarry.
Who do you think's going to win?
I'm gonna go with Fnatic. Now, it'd be a little harder because I think Tricked is kind of good, but they have a stand-in today. Fake Nico is going to be playing for them.
Ah, Fake Nico.
Fake Nico.
It'd be so sick if he changed his name to Fake Nico. I mean, why not? It'll be more of a brand than Nico because of the other Nico, right?
Yeah.
So,
I like that idea.
Yeah, interesting times. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, Fnatic for me too.
Okay, nice and simple.
Yeah.
Succinct. Sligwell.
I think without Hunden, Trick can't win, so Fnatic.
Those are great words for Hunden, honestly. Something really unfortunate. Again, I mean, the timing is brutal. We had Rops unable to play for Mouse Sports, and Hunden is unable to play for Tricked with their last opportunity to make it to the finals. So that makes it weird, though, because if you're trying to counter-out a team and one of their main players isn't there, then the unpredictability can be a factor in Tricked's favour. How that plays out over a best of 3, of course, the longer the series goes on for, you'd imagine that the smaller that perceived advantage becomes. But we'll see. What are the thoughts of the people at home? I'm sure the Swedish fans are happy to have a strong Fnatic back. After a turbulent time for Fnatic and Ninjas in Pyjamas, they need something to get behind. I think Fnatic will be that team. That said, NIP are on the up as well, but Fnatic are really coming in super strong. 88%. I think that might be the biggest user prediction percentage I can remember seeing.
A little while.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But again, I mean, Fnatic has huge brand power. Tricked can't really compare in that respect. Yeah. There's a lot of history and lore with Fnatic, so, and again, like Sweden on their back, and in that sense, on a nationalistic sense, Tricked have a lot of teams to compete with. So, I mean, it's hard to expect that, but it's kind of cool to see that there's so much support there for Fnatic. Now, what do Pinnacle think with Hunden being stand-in? They've got to be a huge underdog, and I think that is a huge underdog. I mean, we've seen bigger numbers, but these are still big numbers in and of themselves, almost for Tricked. So it's definitely going to be an uphill struggle for the likes of Tricked.
It's very hard to have a stand-in in a team that's very as tactical as Tricked is as well. Like,
yeah.
What are all the nades that are missing now? You know, that's a rough one.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but it doesn't mean that it's over. It doesn't mean that it won't happen.
It's always a possibility.
Yeah,
never
absolutely.
Know
I should pick up this. I'm just very conscious of this random piece of grip tape on the table. We've had a long adventure with grip tape. I think I'm mostly settled with where I am with my grip tape at the moment. It is super ugly, but I kind of like how hideous it is. The job I've done with the grip tape, I disposed of all the grip tape we had back here. There's another one right here, actually.
James, you know what you could do?
What could I do?
You could
Gamma,
trace. Yeah. You get the size of the mouse, just trace them, and then just put the grip tape on top and just kind of cut around it, so that you have, so it's, you know, it's precise. As opposed to just like strips.
Well, they are kind of precise strips, because like this is the grip tape that I'm using. I don't know if we can do top-down cam, but it's a brand called Gamma. As you can see there, I'm not going to unwind it, but basically this is supposed to be literally wrapped around. Oh, we've got like a hype beasting. It's supposed to be wrapped around the a badminton a handle. So it starts small and kind of expands that way. So it actually, like, you can see a little thing here. You could just, you know.
So wait, what's the point of having it on your mouse? Your hands like sweaty or something?
No, they're not sweaty, but it's just more grip. I feel like with a small mouse, I use one of the smaller mice, and even like I got some brand new ones recently, and those are cool and they're matte, but the badminton grip is just way more grip, just way more. So if I'm like throwing my mouse around for AWPing or doing 180s or something, or just doing some crazy stuff, I feel like I can do it more accurately with the grip on the mouse than without the grip on the mouse.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so it kind of sounds crazy. It's not to say like the default mouse is bad, because it isn't. It's just that this makes it a lot better for me. And there's a lot of people, I think some people will be taken by surprise. We've had a lot of discussion about grip tape on Twitter. A lot of people are interested. A friend of ours gave me some Lizard skin, which is a brand which I think is made for mice. I haven't used it yet because I've kind of covered my mouse. And this, honestly, like, these are both badminton grips. This one's some kind of PK sports thing I bought from Amazon, but this one wasn't really the one. Like, this one's really good. It's so good it has a little piece of film you have to peel off, so the grip is super, super grippy. Yeah. I put one on top of the middle of the mouse, but I don't really think I need that one. But like the side for my thumb and for my little finger on the outside of the mouse, those two are the main pieces. And then I've got some gaff tape on mouse 1 and mouse 2, which isn't really necessary, but I think
tape. Wow.
It's just like a thin strip. Okay. It's just more comfortable than like a used mouse feel where it kind of gets shiny and stuff. It's just better.
I need mouse skates. Yeah. Mine are wearing down on cloth.
Oh man, I'm getting, like, people are spamming me with r/mouse review and talking to me about Hyperglide, which I think is the mouse feet. I've got paracord cables at home, so I'm going to be modding my mice and replacing the cables. There's a lot going on. So I'm going to have modded mice, modded keyboards.
You find a shape and a sensor that works, make everything else nice, and you have the ultimate mouse for yourself. Yeah. It's perfect.
It's pretty cool. I know, who's the chap in London who mods mice for people? Like IntelliMice and stuff.
You mean Sujoy?
Yeah, Sujoy, yeah.
Is he still doing that?
I believe so. Yeah. Cool. He mods mice for people, but I didn't know that it was on such a larger scale. If you're interested in modding mice, like...
Mod mice.
Why are you doing this? What is this?
I know, I'm just thinking of hacking. People that mod their mice probably have something installed on it.
Oh, right, okay.
Taking this to a dark place.
I'm taking it to a dark place.
That's actually interesting because sometimes like equipment is inspected at tournaments and so on.
You sure?
But none of my stuff is. I am actually. But like all my stuff is custom. I made my keyboard myself.
Sounds very fishy there, James.
I'm an enthusiast. You can't oppress the enthusiasts.
That's the thing about the mouse that's Piranha Mods mouse. Gotta give him a shout out because he sent me the 305 Ultralight. And it's like the shape. He modified the shape. He has this, like, he has the badminton grip. That's where we got the idea for the badminton grip from. And it's just amazing. I just can't, like, I keep wanting, because it's 3D printed, and it's very early days in terms of his development of those kinds of mice. It is a little bit fragile, but I can't go away from it. It's like such a perfect shape.
What's interesting is that, you know, the tape. I don't think it's fair to say that like the tape is integrated, but it's basically made specifically for the case. Whereas mine is just tacked on and ugly as hell.
Yeah, he.
But if it works, man. But I don't know if mine's going to be consistent. At some point, I'm going to have to replace mine. Then we'll see. But again, if you feel free to tweet any of us really, if you have any questions or comments about any of these mods. I've got a lot of people who sent me pictures of paracord cable mods they've made, because like with my particular mouse, the cable is like almost stick. It's almost like it kind of feels in some ways like a hanger. You know, it just doesn't. The movement is kind of restricted, but it's annoying because I've got my keyboard cable, which of course is custom made, and has a little
custom made with you
metal thing. I'll have to bring one of them on because they're really sick. Yeah, everything's basically custom. Yeah, the paracord cables look amazing, whereas they just won't get in your way, essentially.
They make a big difference.
I remember having a discussion with Lurpus about mouse bungees, and he was like, "Why does anybody need a mouse bungee when you can just tape your mouse cable to the side of your monitor?"
It's a waste of tape.
Which is pretty old school.
It's a waste of tape.
Did you ever do that?
I had a mouse bungee. Always had mouse bungee.
Yeah, they've existed for a really, 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 really long time, actually. Although it's weird how few of them there are out there.
Different types, you mean?
Yeah, just in general. Yeah, very few people making them. But anyway, we're into the action here, Fnatic on the CT side, and that's Crims with a good start. And I think we can certainly expect Fnatic to do quite some damage here. They are by far the favorite in every single respect, and it's looking good. Not even a single player down just yet. And there it is, a flawless start for Fnatic. In fact, even 3 players are going to get a cheap upgrade with the helmet, so that's very nice for them.
Very risky move by Trick, just go outside wide swinging pretty much, but I mean, if you throw smokes, it might be too obvious. It's hard to get 2-3 smokes on pistol, it's a little risky.
Go to P250s, man.
P250s would have been nice.
They're inviting arranged engagement, but where the P250s at? It's mad how difficult it can be sometimes to shoot somebody in the back of the head. In CSGO, as I recently found out with a P250 experience. So after some recent Nuke games, I learned proper smoke. I made my own smoke for the... Oh.
What?
A little short, I suppose. Well, the MP9 will have to do. There's great support. Walking into the meat grinder. Roger with the Glock will be finished off as well. And that's a solid 2-0 for Fnatic. Bubsky's on -1, and everybody else is on 0. We're into round 3, and no one has died on Fnatic. I don't know when I last saw that.
That happened to me in the FACEIT game today. My team, no one died for the first 3 rounds.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'll put that as an asterisk to the professional games I'm talking about.
Okay.
Well, we've got 4 Kriegs on deck for Trick, so those statistics are surely about to change. Will it be a fast plane to A? No, there's no HE grenade into the squeaky position. And we've got some forward action from Fnatic trying to close the distance with this MP9. But Flusher has most certainly been heard from the silo, and Acor gets one easily.
First kill for the team. High fives all around. Acor's definitely one to watch. Bit of nade damage coming through there onto Tricked. And that makes a big difference. You got some MP9s and FAMAS. One headshot might be all that's needed now instead of any follow-up bullets because they're all tagged up.
Great awareness from JW with the pre-fire. Not assuming he could cross the door for free. And he will make some kind of escape. There's a minute on the clock for Tricked. They got the opening kill, but now it's a 4 versus 4. They still have 4 smokes on deck. But once again, they look to walk outside with no warning. I don't believe anybody has vision of the outside from Fnatic. You might think that with the lack of Hunden, Fnatic might try and pick the more complicated map, but Nuke is the pick of Tricked. So they'll be coming into this with confidence.
Yeah, that spot from Crims goes a really long way because Fnatic wanted some info and he gets it without taking any damage. And that's going to be very helpful. So they know they're outside, and they already have JW lower, so they know that they're not lower, so they can reasonably expect that what is happening right now, but we can see, I mean, Fnatic have, this is what they're guessing. You can see there's already an incendiary there, and Crims is ready to defend Heaven, so... oh, Crims is going to join Bubsky.
Oh, that's a meaty HE around that main position. JW waiting, there's 10 seconds, they can't wait for the smoke to go, they need to try and plant the bomb, but it seems they will evade more variants and head away and hold on to their weapons. Not getting as deep as they may have liked to in that round before time started to disappear. I've never looked at the warning labels in the garage.
Fnatic did a pretty good job on their CT side. I know this move by Flush is kind of extreme, but he had MP9 and whatnot. But what was really nice is if you know the T sides are hitting outside pretty heavy, it's a good idea to try to get control of Hut or Squeaky Door, so you can kind of like, it's almost like the Dust 2 split. You know, if they hit B in mid, you want to either take mid or take B tunnel to kind of stop one angle.
Deny in part at least their intended plans. Put them on a plan B or a plan C.
Well,
so
cool.
Plan A for Bubsky. He's taken up pretty quickly. Over to you, Dan. I
was just going to say, one thing that you'll notice about Fnatic is that they don't often, if they can buy the AWP, they won't, it's not like they're avant-garde. They're not going to just immediately get the AWP ASAP and try to facilitate that as soon as they can. They're a team that they'll like to, everyone can play with the rifles, they'll play 4 rifle setups, and then they'll just see how that goes. If they get success with it, that's great, because eventually what happens is maybe they'll take an AWP from you, and that's economically a more sound decision. Plus, you're going to be less, it's going to be harder to read what they're doing because you haven't seen the AWP as, you know, as part of their main game plan. It just pops in at some point and everything can suddenly change in their defense. And they're kind of scary in that regard.
Yeah, I kind of don't mind not having AWP on CT side on Nuke, because even though people would think it'd be good for like outside or something, I'll go hold that thought for just a second. Again, JW gets a kill in the vent. He's been going vent every single round here. Here comes the upper rush.
Indeed, Crims looking for the transfer, but he's got plenty of cleanup operators. The street sweepers of Fnatic on the A bomb site will bleach the markings of Trick. The Crimson on the wall, Crimson on the floor.
So I was kind of saying about the AWP. Even though it'd be a good idea to AWP outside, teams nowadays know every smoke, every flash for outside is really difficult to get good, clean shots if you're playing beyond CT spawn on the outside of CT. So you'll see a lot of teams like Vitality, they put Zywoo like either CT spawn Heaven or by the turnpike towards ramp. Those are the really main strong off spots right now on this map.
Looks like Nico will be deploying a Molotov into the wrong position, unfortunately for Tricked. However, they don't seem to be over-committed to the A bomb site. JW playing his no-respect style as per usual. This is why he's a hero to many. The flash on the side allows him to peek at the same time, but Nico will still hold his position. That smoke is in an awkward spot where JW may lose his vision from the anti-eco position just as he falls back. That's where Nico is. Common angle to be held on anti-eco. That's a huge peek from RoJ. Tricked forcing their way back into this, looking for only their first round from 6. 3v3, but there are so many Kriegs on deck too for the CTs, but Golden can't quite get there, and Nico will pop his head as well.
It's funny, very funny, but JW, Brolan, and Golden, that's their first death in this game so far, was in this round. So they all managed to survive until this point without dying, which is pretty incredible. But now, everyone has a death.
Everyone dies down.
Everyone has died at least once. They creep outside for Tricked. They'll go lower. But the pace that they have, they won't have too much time here. So they need to make it clean and quick when they eventually get to the bomb side. And it looks like Crims might have a decent flank timing as well. As soon as he gets information from his teammates, he can speed things up a little bit. Just swapping the AWP over to the weakest player in terms of health. Alright, it's getting really tight now. 10 seconds to plant the bomb. Oh, this is scary. Oh man, that might be it. Flusher may have done enough here. Oh, just enough time to plant the bomb. He's got a 1v1 as well. Ready to do it. Oh, it's close. Crimson's ready. The slow flank, the creep is successful.
Taken almost all the Kriegs away from the Fnatic squad, but they were taken from Tricked in the first place. Therefore, there is money and plenty of it. Fnatic enjoying affluence as they move to round number 7 with a 6-0 scoreline. With the bomb plant at this point, Tricked will get 4,200 every round if they can plant the bomb, which means they can buy every round if they can plant the bomb. But can they win any rounds?
It's so hard to hold lobby pretty much by yourself because you saw JW peek towards the hut. It's just hard to watch Squeaky Door, ramp, and hut if you kind of popped out in the open, like when we saw that Trick player just hitting there spamming Squeaky Door. I kind of prefer to keep people outside lobby if we're doing a simple default. You know, if you're sending a majority of people on T-roof or outside or whatnot, to kind of give up lobby, let them push for the most part. Just especially if you're playing with a ringer like Nico, he's not going to know the timings of your movements on your team and how tight the coordination needs to be. You gotta have to apply your stats just a little bit for Nico to kind of feel comfortable.
Nico has a forward spawn. Will it be a fast play into A? I don't see any HEs. The answer is no. See some intention towards the ramp, however. Initial incendiaries from Fnatic. Interesting to see if they will play one ramp every round or if they'll mix things up. Rotate JW, who is now on the AWP. And indeed, he is close to that CT spawn position, maybe taking some inspiration from Zaiwu or the general meta on Nuke at the moment. You can see over the smokes, which are about to be lined up by Tricked. They'll have to stay close to them. So I think this is the first line of smokes we have seen from the T side so far, and there's an instant reaction, a race towards Secret. See a Molotov from Tricked, but Flush will soon have the information that only one player is headed in this direction.
Golden might have a timely peek here. We'll have to see. They're waiting for Brolan to face first, and then Golden unleashes his Krieg dominance. 3 kills. That is fantastic for the loss of only one at ramp. He's still holding onto this position. He might even be able to sweep up all of the remainder of this team, but no, Tricked have A-Core, and A-Core will frag. Does he have any idea where Crims is? Fast rotation upper. Instant plant. Oh, the timing on that one. Crims, again in a 1v1, he's going to win it.
Switches out the skin. Actually, the Krieg he was holding kind of suits his knife. But anyway. Krieg's dominating the frags, it seems, on the CT side and the T side, although Fnatic once again survive with one player, so there'll only be one Krieg, but look at the money on the team. That is like 2 buys, basically, so once they buy, it leaves them with one. I'd say around 6k for a good buy per CT. 7,500 for JW with the AWP. So you've got a mixed bag here from Trick. You've got a Krieg on Roger and an AK-47 on Shush. Despite having lost the round and planting the bomb, there won't be that full buy, that 4,200 buy from Trick, so they may have bigger intentions in mind for the next round. Not feeling compelled to force it up with only one player surviving for Fnatic. Of course, there are longer-term intentions, but they'll go for a full buy, it seems, in the next round. So we'll see what they have in mind. Bubsky's still on -1 though. He's had no success in this game so far, and down he goes again.
Oh yeah, yikes. On -1, so I didn't even notice that. Well, they haven't won around yet, so it's a tough situation. Shush is in a really bad spot, about to get pincered here. And there it is. 3v3, and Trick need to find a way to get the bomb planted. Free kill. Roger with that position on Heaven has unlocked the upper bomb site, and I think this is the most favorable we've seen Trick to look towards the late stages of a round.
Creeping towards Hart, but not quite landing the headshot. Flush is left in a 1 versus 3, and again, the money they had prior was good for 2 buys, including the rebuy for 4 players, so can't go crazy with this cash. It can sink and disappear very quickly on the CT side. And Trick have found their first round. Bubsky still looking to make it to 0 on the KD. On the K, not D. And let's see if Fnatic can turn things around, because if they don't, you know, the lost bonus is in the bin, of course. Most of their money's now been spent. They won 2 rounds with 1 player surviving in each. So things have been expensive for them, and there is time for Trick to turn things around. But of course, they do need that consecutive round in order to get there. 8-4 creeping, looking at the usual angles. No smoke in the garage. Doesn't seem too concerned. Spotted an arm. There's a tag onto JW. Actually, it's Flusher who's behind garage, so I don't know where JW took that damage from, but here we are.
Just holding at the moment. Trick's not going to be too aggressive. Broadline with a better angle. Not only does he have a right-eye peek, he's also further away from the wall there. So it's a good spot. It's very key to pay attention to whether the angles that you're playing are favorable versus where you expect to get peeked from. It's very easy to figure it out once you know the mechanics. And already I've seen Fnatic taking a lot of very favorable positions. We get the creep outside, the late smokes to cover the push down. Is there anyone down there? I think there is just Golden at this point. Ooh, this could be a meaty one. Oh, he's found a very nice timing. That's lovely. Perfect damage across those players. All softened up.
20 seconds to go. Golden trying to play for the bomb plant and inviting rotation from his teammates. They're spending so much time. Another team kill. They're spending so much time trying to clear control. They've got 13 seconds to plant the bomb. And they will die one very soon after the other. 8-1 for Fnatic. The Trick score is basically Bubsky's KD, but with a minus. I know he's on 9 now. Never mind, that was wrong.
A great job by Golden. I know if you're playing in the lower of bomb site, like where he was, you want to take a shot. You feel like you need to take a shot, but instead of taking that shot, he was just kind of hopping around, spotting for heads, because STs is kind of an easy shot to hit against the CT, especially if there's more than one person. Just a really, really good play. So good job on Golden for staying alive, drawing out the round, make the T's come to him, and he got up. He caused 2 kills to happen because of that.
He's playing for the objective as opposed to fighting to the death, which is something. Honestly, I feel like there's so much we could do in the game in terms of concepts like not fighting to the death because you see someone, but taking the fights that make the most sense for your common goals as a team.
He's out.
Oh yeah, and he took 1 damage there. But it sounded like the Molotov ticks on him. That's very strange.
Probably did.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Because there are weird things like you can take let's say you can take a shot with the AWP that you hear on your client just before you die, but that does not necessarily mean that it fired on the server. So your teammates who are watching you would tell you if it fired or not, because they would hear it if it did. Anyway, there's 42 seconds remaining. JW just taking liberties with Tricks at the moment. Oh my god, and he's going to get 2. That is absolutely outrageous. Oh, he's looking for more as well. He has no respect, but you can't help but be a fan. Heinous behavior from JW. A 4K with an AWP bouncing out of the vents. That is maximum JW right there.
Yeah, that's just the most JW, quintessentially JW thing I think we could have seen.
It's such an odd spot for
That's,
AWP.
I demand this is play of the game. Nothing is beating this. I demand it.
It's going to be play of the game. It's going to be on the front page of Reddit. That is just glorious JW things.
Trying to process the absurdity of what he's doing while talking about it at the same time can prove difficult on occasion because JW... I need a JW sticker immediately. Well, Tricks are going to try and make their way down towards the secret position. They'll have some success, but there will be casualties.
What a sick highlight. So amazing. Well, frag will be had towards control onto Golden. But getting the bomb down is another story entirely. They do have a smoker though, so they're going to be able to get it in the smoke. They've planted, that is. But Fnatic, they won't be held back for too much longer. Flash is already towards the control room, and I think he just passed the player. Oh! Where did that bullet go? That was almost a very big problem for Roger. So there's a real chance here for a hold from Tricks. Still some time to work with for Fnatic. Not too much though. Oh,
double doors play. Oh, we've got some nervous shots from both. The reload, there's no bullets left in the AWP. And Roger's left with 6, he's been spotted, and he will not win that duel. Fnatic make it to 10 to the 1 of Tricks. There were a few nervous situations there. You can see Roger going for the CZ spam, not quite aiming for the head. Then
cursed off.
One shot missed with the AWP, and then there's no bullets left in the AWP. It was a disaster.
Cursed off because you saw 2 shots go right through people. I dropped that. Don't use it.
Yeah, that was funny, the JW's miss, right? Because the model was like so close to him, it was like 90% of the screen. So.
But other rounds you could jump 360 no scope and hit a person across the map. Why not?
Tricks making a fast play towards the ramp. Golden is here. Oh, he's going to land on his head as well. That's going to be 9 months out. Tricks moving towards the B bomb site. TW looking for the flicks, won't wait for the rotation again. Almost, in poker they call it playing a rush. The more gamblery types where you're just hitting all the cards and just go for the outrageous plays and keep up the aggression and until you're given a reason not to. Excuse me. So Tricks have forced their way into the B bomb site. You can see that there is money to be saved here for Fnatic. They do need to make a consideration. They can try to take a calculated risk to make it expensive for Tricks. Maybe they will just continue doing outrageous things again. It's almost like with those plays from JW, it just lights a fire under the whole team, and they're all on the same wavelength. So whereas most teams, I think, might fall back in that situation or try and pick off 1 or 2 weapons, Fnatic will just do things that don't necessarily make all the sense in the world on paper. But it's psychological warfare, and that's one of Fnatic's greatest strengths, is being able to do things like that, having the confidence, allowing JW to do whatever the hell he damn wants. He's a match winner because he's allowed to be. He has the freedom to be.
Yeah, that was one of always the most engaging things about watching Fnatic in their heyday, or whenever they are playing it, you know, with that identity, that Fnatic identity. It's just that it doesn't matter what they have. They seem so consistent in delivering unexpected advantages and plays. That's a nice start from Acor. Takes down JW around door. And JW's been really so impossibly annoying around that position. And this is a big play from Trick. They've got Bubsky all the way down, lower now. And he's going to go and wrap back up around towards outside, and Brolan's investigating, so he'll figure it out soon enough. Bubsky's made his way out, so what is the plan for Trick now? They've got a minute to go. Flusher catches Bubsky, moving towards the garage. Now Flusher looks for more information. He's going to hear the running, and that's the cue to shoot. Brolan's here, ready and waiting in the lower bomb sites already. Oh, that's a nice shot.
2 nice shots. They were lining up for Flusher, but Acor will deny it. He won't be happy with his performance. Golden looking for the flick, not quite getting there. And it's left to Crims, who'll pick up the AWP, presumably for rounds to come. Bubsky has made it from -1 to 1. Just so you're aware, no longer in the minus. Took a while, but we'll get there. Crims will try to find a good hiding spot. So Tricked could get 5 rounds out of this half, even though, as bad as it's looked, they could end up with something to work with, for sure. The money sucks right now for Fnatic. Tricked can move into the coming rounds with confidence as long as they can avoid JW and his shenanigans. JW currently 15 for 6.
Yeah, Fnatic have been missing some shots too. Ooh. Interesting.
So good calls by Tricked on him outside or ramp, because Fnatic's been playing a 1-3-1 setup almost all the rounds right now, and it's really hard to do default picking upper or squeaky door or whatnot. So you want to kind of force your T side to go more ramp, more outside until they start playing like a 2-2-1 or try to identify these stacks that they might do, because it's hard to read CT rotation sometimes because the map is so close. You can go down ladder, you can go ramp, and all that other good stuff on fast rotates. It's good to feign some pressure somewhere else on the map, then hit the opposite side.
Spotted on the roof is Brolan, and down he goes. It is a forced buy situation for Fnatic. GW has AWP, but for how long? Crims is in trouble. He needs some help. He's gone. He's history now. A lurk smoke perhaps from the CT side. Forced away though by the Molotov of Tricked, and again they've lost position, but in a 3 versus 3 and Flusher outside main. Well, I was going to say maybe, then again maybe not. Do they really want to commit everything to this? Golden has still made it winnable for JW. Starts to creep in now, but both Ts have left the site. They'll play the bomb, they'll play for the beeps. JW scoped and he's committed. He's got 14 HP. He'll avoid the flashbang. They're going to hunt him. There's a big tag onto Bubsky. Now, does he try to escape? Is he confident about this? He does not have a kit, and he will not survive. Tricks make it to 4. Very likely for 5. Again, after a horrific start. I think there may be a pot of gold on the horizon. Or at least some sunshine.
Slowly but surely, Trick clawing their way back.
The night is darkest just before the dawn.
It's true. Is that true?
It is, man. Batman said it.
Spoiler alert.
So one more round. Should be okay. For Trick, they should be a shoo-in for this one, although that's not a good start. Losing Bubsky in the spray battle. And Fnatic, again, they are really devious when they got buys like this. They just seem to find value from unexpected places fairly consistently. And Trick have to do some thinking here, because they can't really afford to lose another player playing this pick battle. So they will go together towards ramp. A smart decision. Golden with his... well, he doesn't get his headshot at least. The one shot of the deagle that he could fire. So Fnatic forced to go down lower, and this is the point in which Trick could try to mess with the rotations if they so desire, but actually they're deciding to just go for it, keep it simple, get that plant on the lower bomb side.
Plenty of time for Trick to clear out the points of engagement. Ooh, Shush, what was he doing? Pressing Q or something. He dropped a creek to Crims, and he's been a problem with it. The bomb's planted just as Roger gets taken out. Crims lurking now, trying to play off of his teammates perhaps. Being looked for by Nico. Quick jump pass to Peak. Acor is spotted. A ding-dong from Brolan, and it will be 11 for Fnatic. An unlikely 11th round after a comeback from Tricked, but the last round will be taken by the Swedish team. Again, just unfortunate timing in the control room. And there is the defuse, flush it in a smoke, of course. It will be 11 at half-time for Fnatic. Who will win the CT pistol in the second half? We shall find out after the break.
Up your game. 128 servers for the smoothest, most responsive gaming experience ever. Ensure you game seamlessly with our state-of-the-art FACEIT anti-cheat. Track your progress with advanced stats within your community, country, or region. This is the true ranked experience. Sign up now at FACEIT.com.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
So, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with Tricked and Fnatic for the first game of the day. This is a semi-final here for Europe. Looking to find our finalists for the final week, and Fnatic looking good, but it's a good start for Roje and Bubsky. Great defense already, absolutely denying Fnatic entry onto the upper bomb site. And Tricked will win a much-needed pistol round here in the second half to start off their CT side, and perhaps try to mirror what Fnatic were able to accomplish. But Fnatic are certainly going to be a different beast to deal with on their T side. And I, for one, am very curious what they have up their sleeves. But for now, we may see nothing but a full save. Just a suicide with the blocks. Lots of flashbangs. Love to see that. 4 flashbangs have been purchased. Where are they going to be deployed? Gordon's going to be making his way towards the door. Can't make it, though. And I think this is going to be very bloody for Bubsky. You're mad. He is mad.
Well, we've got a real game. The game has begun now. It didn't look like it. It looked like a shutout in the first half, but again, you just claw those few rounds on the T side, and if you're able to make it in the pistol round on the second half, it all begins. It all starts here. Fnatic have got the AKs out. A Krieg and a UMP. They have utility. They have a 5-round lead. It's a forward play, just like we saw from Flusher. This is a nice response. A quick boost from Brolan to see over angles that the CTs might not expect, but nothing too crazy has happened just yet. However, we see the setup from Tricked. Here is a swing, but the flashbangs not quite going to work out for Roje. Nico's able to trade, hold position, and looks to fall back. Threatens to, but he's looking for more. 3 versus 3 with a minute 20 on the clock. Who does this favor?
Well, we have an XM on Bubsky, so I'm going to say tricked. Love the XM. Fnatic have a loads of time to play with. Aiko will investigate towards the outside to see if he can find anything. There are some nades being deployed here still. Fnatic looking very coy. They fall back. Now, are they going to walk ramp, or what are they going to be up to here? You'd imagine that that would be the safer option. Golden's up on the T roof here, so looking to deploy some grenades shortly. 30 seconds to go, and at this point, Upper might be their final destination. Golden with the flashbangs. And this is what I'm talking about, man. That XM is ready to go.
Well, Golden can't sit on the roof forever. Flusher's made his way out in every sense. And Golden will creep down the ladder, but what is there to do? 16 seconds on the clock. They made a play, Fnatic. They looked to wait for a flank from Tricked, which never came. They lost players, they lost time, they lost position, and now they've lost the round. 7 rounds for Tricked, all 3 in the second half so far, excuse me. They lose 2 players, it could be worse. Aiko will continue with the Scout, who have AWP money in the hole, if he doesn't spend too much. Worst case scenario. He's left himself with 6,500 in the bank. No defuse kick for him, but they got 3. Okay, he spent some more money. He's got 59, so he's still got his AWP money. Done a maths on a Chinese abacus. Fnatic still a huge favourite, an enormous favourite. There's definitely a window of opportunity here. Yes, it might be unlikely, but many teams can have a strong CT half on Nuke, even the likes of Tricked without Hunden. Here is another opportunity. We've got the delayed... Wait, where is the second smoke? Is it not there, or was it thwarted by a Molotov? It seems it was the latter, and that will make it hard for him to make it downstairs. Roger's in position, taking him one by one. That leaves Flusher with 2 HP and the bomb. He can't afford to lose that. Got to play off of his teammate, maybe. Hoping for a mistake, Flusher, playing an off angle in secret while JW tries to put in some work.
Yeah, not the best situation. What is he even like cozied up against there? Oh, nice shot from JW. I don't know how that. We're just shooting people from below. It's always a headshot.
He's hoping for JW to make a move, and so then they will push out, and then maybe Flusher could sneak in by, but they didn't bite for it.
There he goes. This would be ridiculous if Fnatic somehow found a way to win this round. Flusher on 2 HP. JW creeping around now with the Scout. That heaven position. It is definitely a position where they can perhaps get some work done. Oh, that's the bomb. That might be a GG for this round. We'll see what JW can accomplish. Try to get another kill on the board, but he fails. And that's another round for Tricked. But they have a very long road ahead of them. They have to win 11 rounds on this half just to equalize what Fnatic did. I mean, I guess they're well on their way. 7 more, and they will achieve that. Doesn't sound so crazy.
It's not too bad. I mean, you're on the CT side of Nuke, which can be generally easier if you have good rotations and good game plan. Don't get me wrong, it's not that much easier. You see Tricked throwing that Molotov every round to kind of thwart off those smokes that we saw last round.
Curious to see how Golden activates this Mac 10. Okay, Crims has been deleted. Note how Bubsky clears positions before going to pick up the Krieg. No reloads, no more sound cues, nothing for free, and it's Golden, of course, to trade with the Mac 10, but Fnatic have lost so many players. They have control of the bomb. Golden can and will get an upgrade to an AK-47, but a 2 versus 4. Flusher trying to look for a fast engagement because they need to bring something back here. The Swedes. Golden showing some presence in the squeaky door, which maybe takes some attention away from outside. And inside, Golden will try to hold down his position, but there is a creep from the ramp. He's got the flashbang. Is it deep enough? It's avoided by Aiko. It's so hard to avoid Aiko in general, though. He's forced forward into the rest of Core, and Aiko will deliver as he always does. Flush has half the information. He knows where Aiko is, going for a really deep Molotov. The pre-fire's pretty damn good. Aikor's back on the angle, though. and through the flames, he will deliver that final frag. Trick have quickly caught up. 5 rounds in a row for them, just as we saw from Fnatic in the first half, and the gap is close to 2.
What a back-breaking play from Bubsky. Really put Fnatic behind you. When you lose lobby like that early in the round, you feel so gutted.
Bubsky's got nuclear in this half.
Yeah, he has.
He's gone from -1 kills for ages in the first half to 11. And Roger has been stabbed in the back. He's been betrayed. His teammates have been paid off. I think Roger wanted to throw the smoke grenade there. He will deploy it eventually, trying to avoid any flashbangs. And Nico's holding the line. He's spraying. It's a crossfire. There's bullets for days. It is a railgun. A Gatling gun. Saves that thing on the end of the helicopter. Flusher now in a 1 versus 4. I think he may have been spotted there. He's double peeking. Down to 12 HP, down to even less. Every round so far for Tricked, and I'm sure those odds from Pinnacle will be changing dramatically now.
I call timeout if I was Fnatic right now. You're down a whole bunch of rounds. The other team's looking pretty good. Slow it down, reassess the situation. Let everyone's mind kind of settle down a little bit. Very important round for Fnatic. And Trick for that matter.
Nice to see a bit faster here from Fnatic. Trying to avoid those grenades outside. Looking to try to make sure that they can actually win outside as well. That's been, I mean, that's always part of the puzzle for the T side. If the CTs are able to play, 2 outside and confidently converts, that's obviously not a good sign. And some teams would exploit ramp in situations like this, where there is only a single player able to defend it. You push ramp, you pull the player lower, it pulls the player away from outside as well, who has to then look after hell. Changes the rotations in a very favorable way for the T side.
Acor tries to stand his ground through the flames though. Life will not be easy. He will stand his ground, going back to the white. He's going to see so many. It's a great flick. Target selection is pretty good, but maybe he went back to the well too many times. And there's an opening for Fnatic, quite literally, into that secret position. Nico looking towards secret, taken down from T Red. This might be falling apart for Trick. You definitely don't want Fnatic getting momentum. They can do a great many things with it. 4 versus 2 very quickly, and Fnatic seem to know what Tricks want to do with the positions they're likely to have. Ladder is a no-go from the vent. Roger just left to hide towards the big bomb site. The money's not spectacular for Tricked, and so they will fall back.
That was a terrible repeat by Acor. Pretty much cost the team the round, because when you send someone down there at the start of the round for like a pick like that, he is your lower rotator, kind of technically. So when he dies, it forces even more rotations on the CT side and puts your entire team out of position.
Yeah, he already did enough too, because he got the 1 kill and he had the smoke ready to go. And if he drops that smoke, Fnatic are in this really awkward spot where they have to figure out, okay, do we just go through this? Do we flash through this? Or do we try to just hang out in around the outside? And neither of those things are comfortable. Like, both of those decisions have huge risks involved. But if you look at the other option that happened, where Acor just goes for the peak to get the 2nd kill and dies, even if he gets that kill and gets traded, it's still pretty bad.
It's still the same thing.
It's still the same thing.
You kind of put your team in a really bad spot where they have to over-rotate, or at least rotate someone. And you just, that's something that you can't really do.
Yeah, he had the info too that there was a lot of players there. So it was a huge info play. Again, like, he gets that initial kill too. Like, it's really ideal at that point. So that's a shame for Tricks, because maybe they've opened the floodgates now.
Yeah, the T's can't put the bomb down outside. You have to go to A or B. Let them come to you. I know outside right now is pretty much meta. A lot of T's will smoke, flash, and everything, and use that to take and fake outside, but you have to have a game thing where you give it up. Where it's okay, let them take it.
Fast play into the A bomb site from Fnatic, but we've got flames everywhere, and this might invite variance to one of the teams, and maybe it will be the Swedes, because Bubsky is charged up and looking for an ace. on the CT side. He'll be denied by Nico, but it will lose nobody, and that's the most important thing for Trick. They won't lose a single player. No bomb plant for Fnatic. A fast play into A was denied, and Fnatic have only got the one round in this half so far. Trick are straight back to winning ways. Do not underestimate the power of the CT side of Nuke. Bubsky, he was just waiting for the second half. Lulled them into a false sense of security with -1. Now he is 16 for 16, almost a top fragger on Trick. All almost in the second half.
Yeah, I think he went out of the first half within like 3 or 4 kills. Nice. Play from him, 8 core, doing some good damage. Look at how hungry Bubsky is. He's so hungry, man. He's so thirsty for these kills. The amount of times he's just dived towards Lobby or Squeaky is unreal. The thing is though, he's just actually just killing everyone. So he's hitting all of his shots, his confidence is growing. However, we do enter a 2v3, and I want to see if Fnatic can somehow mid-round this to success. It looks very bleak, though.
Roland and Flusher remain. There's plenty of time, and they've collected the bomb, so that's no longer an issue. But it's dry peak territory. There's some serious pre-fire from Flusher. Again, they have utility, but they can't throw it around for free because it does concede the position. One person throws a flash for another. The CTs know where both people are. Even if it costs them a man, they'll still be in a 2 versus 2. So the lack of sound is the strongest thing that Fnatic have going for them at the moment. How about this setup? We've got a double Squeaky play, more or less. Look how Flusher will have to clear lots of different angles. He's spotted ahead by the vent eventually. Brolan will try and make a play. Bomb's been lost. Double peek if they want it. There's the first and the second. Ouch. 12 to 12. Tricks have tied the score.
Good adjustment by Trick, especially that 3-on-3 situation. I don't know if there was a call outside. Maybe they heard a bunch outside. But you see Buzzby right here, or Buzzkey, just to kind of push it through Squeaky door. And that's usually the right call if you hear 2-3 people trying to take outside on you.
He is just spamming that W key. Maybe he's got 2 keyboards pressing W both.
Just tape down on the W.
That makes sense, Dan.
Pressing the W's with his feet.
Pedal for W.
Exactly. Fnatic need to find a gear that works. Also, smokes again deployed for the coverage to allow them to go lower. There is a rotation in row J by Control. There he is. Just looking to delay them. It's a fantastic chunk of nade damage, many chunks. Fnatic are very committed, and that is very well understood by Tricked, but they got to get the kills. They already have players in lower sight though, so this is going to be so tough for Fnatic.
Yeah, they need to plant the bomb. They need to achieve their objective. Winning by elimination is going to be... Well, actually, there's only 3 players left now for Tricked as they've lost Bubsky, the big fragger, and now it's down to 2. Acor's being picked off as well. They're trying to get out the vent. Oh, he almost fell out. Flusher, that would have been scary. The bomb's being planted now on A. There's a smoke up. And Roger is trying to run distraction. A funky grenade from Shush. That one I have to look at. So he's created some space for himself. He needs to identify where these T's are. How do they get out of the ladder? There's a flank in heaven, in fact. That Shush goes down. Somebody's going to go up. It's Flusher with an AUG. There he is. Just about getting the spray. That was a scary one of 14 HP, but Roger has surely been outmaneuvered, and Fnatic will find a way to make this buy work. Started on B, finished on A, with a flank no less. Great awareness from Fnatic, and they're back in the lead.
I don't like that upper smoke. CT toss from heaven. Allow the T's to have one more, I guess, hiding spot, and it slowed down the CTs on the retake because now you have to look at the smoke, you have to wait, you have to keep going back and forth, you don't have the vision. It's a 2-on-2 situation. You want to say that maybe for the bomb defuse or something.
I like that Flusher had the presence of mind to go for the flank though. It's very brave to make those plays, but his timing worked out so precisely and so well. effective results. And they need to continue that success. Tricked are looking extremely confident. I dare to say, you know, more confident than Fnatic were. Especially Bubsky, he's brimming with confidence. And that's very problematic. He's looking to defend this upper bomb site, more passive this time with Roje. And we'll see some outside smokes once again. Will this be an upper wrap? Main and upper, I wonder. What is the plan? Okay, just the regular cross smokes.
Brad's in the smoke. He's made it to secret. Got to be careful. That's a pretty big hole in the squeaky door. Acor with the AWP trying to get his best JW impression on, but can he be anywhere as good? Not many people are suited to that style. He's got to fall off from the ramp. There's a Molotov down the vent, and Roje with a very brave peek into JW, catching him off guard. Going at Fnatic before they can execute their plan. Roje's got a fantastic angle now towards the hut. Golden taken out. Crims has to trade, and he does. He's carrying the bomb, so he cannot fail there. The wrap from Brian will be punished into the A bomb site by Nico in the garage. And it's a 4 versus 2, make it 3, because Flush is in heaven with a nice angle. Goes on the outside and makes it 2 on 2. Fnatic power is in session. Outside and then back into inside. Flusher has left Shush alone. This was a 4 versus 2, and then Flusher happened, and now Shush is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, his rotations, his game sense around them is so solid. Shush now is just going to get annihilated. Flusher with the headshot. He's working that Org to great effect so far. That's beautiful. You don't often see Orgs these days, but Flusher can certainly make it work very nicely indeed. Look at the timings on this. Doesn't really get better than that. 1, 2, 3, everyone just appearing just as Flusher peaks. Doesn't get better than that.
The over-rotation was really baited by Trick. Or, not Fnatic baited it. Trick and over-rotation. You gotta keep someone upper.
What a masterpiece from Flusher. And now Broland's gonna W with the foot pedal all the way towards secret. JW ready for Acor. Fnatic growing with strength in the late game after a good comeback from Trick. They seem to be pulling away, but Shush will try to stop it. He's picked up the AWP and headed back towards the ramp after the pick on JW in that anti-eco spot. Bubsky outmaneuvered, and Flusher once again is in the heaven position with a knife, no less. Unbelievable stuff. How does he even get there? Even I don't know.
I have no idea what
Oh, Roje, he's just fallen off the ladder. They know exactly where he is. Double peek, somehow still alive though. Fighting on heaven with an MP9, he's almost there. But now he's not anywhere. The shrapnel will fill his body and break it to bits.
Flusher is owning everyone right now.
27 for 16.
Yeah.
He's had some really big rounds since Trick tied the score.
How does he get here? The fact that he pulls his knife out before the guys even appeared up the ladder, like... You know, I feel like that can go wrong, you know. I feel like that's not guaranteed. It's not one of those knife kills where, like, you definitely know that guy's just post up with the orb and, like, you have all the time in the world. I don't know, man. It's great to see from Fnatic. And I love how Fnatic players like, shoot each other. Nice little bombardment outside there. But you often see that at the end of rounds, Fnatic players like shoot at each other and just troll each other in the game. I like the spirits on the team. And another HE kill from Flusher. I feel like we've had one each round in the last three rounds. Flusher has been dealt with though, so they don't have to worry about him for now. They actually have the man advantage with this outside aggression. The bomb is safe though, and some guns will be disposed of. Very responsible stuff from Golden. Fnatic's fearless in-game leader. He's added much to the team. Although not enough in this round, it seems. I think one thing with Golden that was immediately evident when he appeared on the scene for me and James was just his individual level. He actually has a really nasty ceiling individually.
He's a fragger.
He is.
Love the peak before the flash goes off. Vintage peaks, 1.6 peaks.
Oh.
Oh.
What?
Hang on.
What?
Where did he shoot him from?
Where is Acor?
He was very deep with the scout.
Not bad.
be a wall banger or something.
Well, there's an AWP for Acor to collect, if he can make it there. Obviously, the Krieg is a priority for the CTs. All right, then. It's still doable for Trick, but Fnatic are indeed at map point, and Flush has got $14,000 clean in a suitcase, bills, unmarked.
Yeah. Where was he?
Oh.
Oh, my days.
I got a new spot now.
Look how deep he is.
That's so ridiculous.
He's so far away. What? I mean, it's funny because Nuke in 1.6, it's just the first like 30 seconds of every round is just bullets being spammed through every single wall on the map.
It's beautiful.
And so I guess it's fitting that you can shoot through that. The crazy thing was like you could really just shoot anything. Like the fact that like you could be on the lower bomb site and wall bang someone planting on the upper bomb site. You could just shoot the ceiling, or like reverse, shoot the floor and kill the guy on the lower site. Or you could like shoot into like CT vent from outside, and it's just from ramp to lobby, just everything. You could shoot through everything.
Well, Trick has to shoot through 10 Fnatic players to make it to overtime in map 1. Nico looking for a rotation, quick reload, and JW has him trapped. That smoke will change things, of course. A big focus from Trick around this squeaky door. They basically have 3 players around it. Maybe they have Stockholm Syndrome from JW's actions earlier on. Fnatic changing the pace somewhat. Creeping towards the outside, looking to line up their smokes. JW not playing that anti-eco position anymore, trying to catch players off guard with a new position as we reach the minute mark.
Flames will push back. Sheesh. And that's important. Again, we talked about these rotations and that if you push back that player, it can pull the ramp player down potentially if they suspect that the T's are moving outside down towards control. He calls on this position though. Nice catch. He is very solid with the AWP. Looking for any crazy wallbangs just yet. Indeed, Fnatic will get down lower, but there's already many CTs here to worry about. So many.
30 seconds on the clock. Fnatic are a man down. They have a flashbang, that's about it, but they've got plenty of guns. Bubsky can't deliver this time. He's been good in this half. He's got 20 kills, but maybe it ends here for him. Rotate doesn't see Broland coming. Shush looking around the smokes, but he's been spotted by JW. Both still alive for now, but Shush is low, and now he's gone completely. How did he miss that one? He is going to be punching his desk. I can't believe that what didn't register. But now it's Nico left with 3 HP versus 3 more Fnatic players. They know where he's coming from. And that's a huge headshot. Flusher doesn't land a shot. 2 more to go. He's got a defuse kit. Nico, he keeps going, but that bomb is so far ticked. Has he even got time to touch it? Crims is not showing. He's playing the bomb. It's all but guaranteed at this point. I think it's all over. And there we go. It is, after all. Fnatic will finish off the job. A great comeback attempted by Tricked in the second half, but ultimately, Fnatic will prevail.
Tough match from Fnatic, even though the other team had a ringer. But I like what Fnatic was doing towards the end of that T half, just baiting rotation, tossing pegs, not really hitting up or ramp, just tossing those little micro plays all over the place. Bait the rotations.
Yeah, you know, it was quite cool to see how this game was accented by certain like strings of rounds where individual performances were making a huge difference. JW was perhaps one of the first examples we can see here. Then, you know, of course, we had Bubsky coming into play for Tricked to really cement the momentum into the defense. And they did so well. I felt like they had an amazing recovery. I'm honestly very surprised with how resilient Tricked were in their second half. You see more Bubsky highlights here, but then it was Flusher. That was really the difference. Fnatic were going to lose the game. And then Flusher, we see these moments from him, these really big clutches, a 2v4, where he annihilates everyone. Starts knifing people, and all sorts.
Absolutely awesome. A 30 bomb from Flusher. Some great highlights, and that's what you want to see from Fnatic, the highlight machines. 30 bomb from Flusher, over 3,000 damage. Rotate did the best he could. We saw a great resurgence from Bubsky in the second half, and who knows if there was more appearance from the Tricked players in the first half, then maybe this score will be the other way around. But Fnatic always have that extra gear, and we certainly saw some of it on Nuke. Will we see it on Inferno? The pick of Fnatic that comes after the break. We will see you back here in a few minutes to find out.